The discovery under the bed. The town of Elmridge was quiet, almost too quiet for Ayan, who had grown up in the buzzing chaos of a city where nights never slept. He had just moved there for a short stay before his flight abroad. A month, maybe less. A layover in life. But small towns had a way of surprising people. Within a week, Ayan had found a group of friends, Neil, Priya, and most notably, Rhea. She had this odd charm, witty and wild-eyed, always with an adventure in mind. They welcomed him without question, and soon, he felt like he belonged. It was a Friday night when Neil hosted a cozy get-together at his place. Nothing extravagant, just some homemade food, soft music, and that warm, unspoken bond among friends who knew how to laugh hard and stay up late. The air buzzed with laughter, and the walls echoed with stories, dares, and jokes. They played board games, recited horror stories that weren't really scary, and devoured way too many brownies. Rhea had been teasing Ayan all night. "You city boys are soft," she'd said, challenging him to try the extra spicy wings Neil had made. To everyone's surprise, Ayan didn't flinch. He coughed once, took a deep breath, and even smiled through watering eyes. It was moments like that which made the group grow fond of him, especially Rhea. He was quiet, respectful, and a little awkward in a charming way. And in a group where everyone had known each other for years, his gentle presence felt fresh. "He's like a lost puppy," Priya had whispered to Rhea during the night. "Innocent, sweet, the kind you can trust." Rhea had nodded. "Totally harmless." It was around 12:15 a.m. when Ayan's phone buzzed. A delayed flight notification. His departure had been pushed back by 12 hours due to technical issues. He sighed, placing the phone on the table. "Guess I'm here for another night." Neil raised an eyebrow. "You could crash on my couch again." But Rhea cut in, casually. "Nah, he can crash at my place. It's a 5-minute walk. And besides, I'm not scared of little puppies." Everyone laughed, and Ayan blushed, shaking his head. "Only if you're sure." "Come on," she said, already grabbing her keys. "I've got plenty of floor space. And way better pillows than Neil's lumpy ones." They waved their goodbyes and headed off into the cool night. Rhea's house was small but cozy, filled with little plants, Polaroids of friends, and shelves full of half-read novels. Her parents were away for the weekend, and she seemed unfazed by being alone. "You can sleep on the floor next to the bed," she said, tossing him a blanket and a pillow. "Carpet's clean. I vacuumed, like, a week ago." Ayan chuckled and began setting up his little camp. Rhea climbed into bed and yawned. "Let me know if you need anything." "Just peace and quiet," he replied with a grin. She turned off the lights, but sleep didn't come. Instead came discomfort. And then, a feeling. A pull in his gut. He turned slightly and stared at the space beneath Rhea's bed. It was dark, but not empty. There, inches from his face, lay a man. Curled. Watching. Eyes wide open. Ayan didn't move. He couldn't blink. Couldn't breathe. "There's someone under her bed." His pulse thundered in his ears. Every instinct screamed to yell, to wake Rhea, but he stopped himself. The man hadn't moved. Maybe he didn't know Ayan had seen him. He needed to get Rhea out. Fast. But not in a way that would alert the men beneath. Thinking quickly, Ayan sat up and said, "I'm hungry." Rhea stirred. "What?" I'm starving. I need to eat something." She groaned. "We just ate enough for 3 people." "What are you talking about?" I know, Ayan said quickly. I have this weird thing. My metabolism's messed up. If I don't eat every few hours, it messes with my meds." Rhea turned toward him, frowning in the dark. "What meds?" He scrambled for words. For my stomach. It acts up. You remember earlier I said I felt cramps? Same thing. I need something, or I'll be up all night." She sighed. "There's a medical store right across the street. You can go grab something." "You don't need me." No, he said firmly. "Can you just come with me? Please?" She sat up. "Why? That makes no sense." "I feel dizzy too," he added. I might pass out. Just. Please, Rhea. Her tone was sharper now. You're acting weird. I know, he said, forcing a laugh. I just don't want to be alone right now. She grumbled but pulled on her slippers. Fine. Let's go. But you owe me a lot of chocolate for this. He waited until she stepped out of the room. Then he stood, grabbed the door keys from the table, and followed her out. The cool air hit them as they stepped outside. The street was quiet, only the flickering yellow of the lamp overhead. Ayan shut the door behind him and locked it from the outside. Rhea turned. Why are you locking it? He looked at her. Dead serious now. Because there's a man under your bed. She blinked. What? There's someone hiding under your bed. I saw him. He didn't move. Just stared at me. Her face turned pale in an instant. I didn't want to panic you inside, Ayan added. So I made up the food thing. I'm calling the police now. He dialed. 1:34 a.m. The police arrived within 10 minutes. 2 officers entered with flashlights and guns drawn. Rhea clung to Ayan, still shaking. Are you sure? I'm not making this up. Then, a shout came from inside the house. Got him. The officers emerged, dragging out a disheveled, pale-looking man in a hoodie and torn jeans. His face was bruised, and his hands were trembling. Who the hell is he? Rhea asked, stunned. The officer said, this guy had a knife in his pocket. Said he was waiting for the right time. He's been stalking you for weeks. Broken through the kitchen window sometime today. Rhea gasped. Ayan looked at her. You left that window open earlier, remember? You even joked about how it brings in the breeze. She nodded slowly, the memory hitting her like a wave. You're lucky your friend here stayed the night, the officer added. He saved your life. Rhea stared at Ayan, speechless. 2:12 a.m. The man was in custody. The police had taken their statements. The adrenaline slowly faded. Rhea sat on the front steps, wrapped in a blanket. Ayan sat beside her. Still annoyed I made you leave the house, he asked, smiling faintly. She shook her head, teary-eyed. You're insane, she whispered. But alive, he said. She looked at him. You seriously thought of that entire act, about meds and food, just to get me out? I couldn't tell you the truth. You'd have screamed, panicked, and maybe made him react. I just had to get you out safely. She stared at him for a long time, then leaned her head against his shoulder. I owe you my life. No, Ayan said. You just owe me that chocolate. They both laughed, shaky, nervous, but real. Above them, the stars twinkled like silent witnesses. And from inside the house, the final trace of a nightmare faded away.